folks, welcome back to Rule of Thumb. Today I thought I would bring you along. We're going to can up some leftovers. So what I have here is the turkey that was left over from the one I cooked recently. And so what I did when we were all done with dinner is I picked off the rest of the turkey that was both white and dark meat. I put it in the containers. In a previous video I showed you how I then took the remaining carcass and turned it into turkey stock. So what we're going to do today is we're going to split this up into some quart jars and cover it with some of that turkey stock and can it up so we have a starter for turkey soup or turkey a la king or turkey tetrazzini or any of a number of dishes. So I'm going to get some jars together. I already have my canner on the stove. I got the water warming up in there, and I have my stock coming up to a simmer on the stove. So I'm going to grab some jars and get this turkey split up amongst the jars, and I'll bring you back here when we're ready to move on to the next step. Okay folks, so I got all my jars here. 7 jars is what fits in my canner, 7 quart jars. So what I'm going to do is I am going to break this turkey up amongst the jars. I'm not going to worry about, I have nice clean hands here folks, I'm not going to worry about making it really small pieces because when I go to use it I can break it up at a time. So I'm just going to split this up here kind of evenly amongst the jars. If I feel like there's too much for the 7 jars, then I might have to come back and do another batch. But my thought is this is actually probably going to be the perfect amount for these jars. Because, you know, the way I'm looking at it is this. If I wanted to make a pot of turkey soup, I'd like to be able to pull one of these jars out and dump it in a pot and that be my base for turkey soup. You know, at that point I can add carrots, onions, celery, I can add noodles if I want, you know, whatever I want to do. And then I can add more stock to it if I want. But really what I'm looking at these as is starter jars for a pot of soup. So you can see what I'm looking at here. So I'm going to pack these super tight. Not really worried about packing them super tight. When we put the broth in here, we'll debubble. So I'm going to make sure my broth is heated up really well and get my funnel out, and then I will bring you folks back when I'm ready to put some broth in these jars. Okay folks, we're back. I got some hot broth here and I'm ready to get these jars filled up. So we're do this simple and straightforward. So we're looking for a 1-inch headspace here. And go ahead and debubble these. Shouldn't be too bad because like I said, I didn't pack these tight, so we aren't having too much to be concerned about there, but you always want to debubble anyway just to be on the safe side. Just touch more in there because I want to be right there below that bottom rim. So that is what I'm going to do with these. I will get the rest of these filled up and in the canner, and then I will bring you back and tell you what we're going to do from there. Okay folks, I wanted to bring you back here to kind of show you what I'm doing and a little bit more of the process here. So because I'm not doing what is considered a hot pack method, I'm able to do all of the jars as a batch. And it looks like I'm about to run out of batteries, so give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that folks. So, as I was saying, I'm able to do it as a batch because I'm not concerned about these getting into the canner super hot because my canner is not super hot. So I have my canner, the water in my canner just to warm. These are now warm because it was the hot broth on the cold turkey. So that's why I'm able to do this way. So now what I'm going to do is I got these all filled, and what I'm going to do is just debubble here, as you saw me do on the first one. So now I'm going to go around. I got myself some paper towel here. Got a little vinegar in this bowl back here. I'm going to go around, clean my rims, make sure there wasn't any fat from the broth on there. Because even though you use the funnel, you get drips when you go from one jar to the next. You know, what did our parents teach us? Better safe than sorry. Okay, folks, so I got my jars in the canner. Now I'm going to get the lid on the canner. You always want to make sure that you check to make sure that you have a clear valve release here, so you want to be able to see light through that. You know, make sure everything's operating correctly, make sure your seal is in good shape. So I have looked at everything. I'm happy with where everything's at. We're going to go ahead and line this up on here. I want to make sure you folks can see here. Okay, so line it up on there and spin it into place. And then I'm going to raise my heat up at this point, and we're going to bring this up, and we're going to wait till we get a steady stream of steam coming out of here. And once we get to that point, we'll set a timer for 10 minutes. Once it's vented for 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and put our jiggler on there, and then we're going to bring it up to the pressure level for my area, which is 11 pounds of pressure on this canner. So it's determined by your elevation and determined by the canner. So make sure you look at your instructions, do some Google searches to find out what your elevation is, and determine from there. So once this is vented for 10 minutes, put the jiggler on, wait for it to come up to the 11 pounds of pressure, get my heat regulated, and then I'm going to can these for 90 minutes because they are meat and they are quartz. So it's going to can for 90 minutes. I'll turn the heat off. I'll let the pressure come down at its own pace. When it comes down to a complete zero, and I feel all of the steam is released, then I will open it up and bring out the jars, and I will bring you back at that point. Hi folks, welcome back. Just wanted to show you the jars at the end here. So these are the jars with the turkey in them. You can see they're still bubbling. They just came out of the canner. But I had no evacuation, which makes me a very happy camper. That means they came out perfectly. And I mean, I don't know how well the color's coming across on the camera, but the color of this stock is stunning. So I ended up with 7 quarts that had turkey in it, and then 7 quarts of just pure broth, and then I had one quart that I just put in the refrigerator. So all totaled 15 quarts, 7 of them with turkey in them that are beautiful and are going to go on the shelves. Oh, I hear some pinging, so that makes me a happy camper. So I hope you folks enjoyed this. If you did, please like, share, subscribe. Come back and see us soon. And as always, I hope you had a great day.